The real heiress is also the fake heiress equals 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 I was the real heiress who had been abandoned, and when the federal agents brought me home I became the one the whole family loved to hate. The fake heiress excelled at everything: pretty face, obedient personality, straight A transcript. She was the curve-wrecker goddess everyone worshipped. Then the college entrance scores dropped. I ranked first in the entire city and left the fake heiress 10 miles behind. Sorry, I'm dropping the mask, I'm the actual curve-wrecker legend. 1. The morning the scores went public, my biological parents hovered around Ellis while she refreshed the screen. I sat in the corner cracking sunflower seeds. Then came the squeals. 682. 682. Mom, Dad, I did it. Ellis dove into Eleanor's arms, Eleanor's eyes flooded with happy tears as the two of them rocked together. Our Bella is the best. Eleanor cried. I always knew you could do it. Dad beamed. Look who her father is. Of course my daughter's brilliant. I booked the restaurant. Family celebration tonight for Bella. I'll pull the car around right now. Still in my corner, I flipped open my laptop to check my own score. That was when Ellis's faux sweet voice drifted over. Mom, Dad, shouldn't we wait for Serena to see hers? Mom's face soured, her tone cut like a blade. What's the point of looking at her numbers? They'll only disgrace this family. Let's go, don't wait. That's how it always is. My own flesh and blood can't stand me, Ellis is the daughter in their eyes. I'm just the stranger. A year back in this house and every last hope of affection has been scraped away. All I want now is out. I heard the front door slam shut before I opened the score page. 704, 2 points higher than I'd dared to hope. While I was still riding the high, my phone buzzed. I accepted the video call. A man and a woman filled the screen. My mom and dad, Margaret and Charles. Honey, are the scores up yet? Margaret asked. I grinned. They are 704. My God. That beats your brother's year. You're amazing, sweetheart. Come let Mom smooch you. She leaned toward the lens and a hand batted her away. A voice I knew too well rumbled off camera. My grip on the phone tightened. Adrian's there too? Margaret flipped the camera, Avery's gorgeous face appeared. My smile froze for half a second before I glued it back on. Hey, Avery. His gaze drilled into the screen, eyes narrowing. You've lost weight. I almost cracked. Margaret jumped in, anxious. Are your birth parents treating you badly? I'm booking a flight tomorrow. The Vance estate, right? If they're bullying my girl, their company can go bankrupt overnight. Mom's outrage made me laugh. Avery kept staring, worry all over his face. Charles sighed. Serena, we respect your decision, but don't let them grind you down. If you're unhappy, come home. We're always your safety net. I swallowed the lump in my throat. I know, Dad. Gotta run, friends are waiting to celebrate. Have fun overseas. I hung up fast, but the tears came anyway. Funny, up until someone cared I wasn't even that sad. 2 days later came senior graduation. After breakfast I stepped outside, Ellis was already in the car, smirking and waving at me. Little sis, big sis is heading off. Grab a cab, okay? Uncle, let's roll. She powered the window up and left me in a cloud of exhaust. I rolled my eyes, unlocked a rideshare bike, and pedaled to Riverdale. At the gate I ran into Chase's posse. Ellis stood dead center on the top step, looking down at me. I angled around them toward the academic wing, but a girl blocked my path. Yo, hillbilly, we're here. No greeting? Rude much. I lifted my eyes. Are we friends? She colored. Ellis tugged her sleeve and gave me a look dripping with fake pity. Serena didn't test well, so let's not tease her tonight, okay? Cackles burst out around her. Figures. Backwater trash like her was bound to bomb. FYI, Bella and Chase just locked in the same university. You'll never touch that tier, Quinn. Try community college, maybe they'll take you, huh? The girls shrieked with laughter. I looked up, boredom flashing into irritation. Finished? Then move, you're in my way. Their jaws dropped. Silence. They weren't used to the quiet girl snapping back. Before exams I'd swallowed every insult to stay focused. Now that testing was over, so was my patience. I slung my backpack off like it was a weapon, and they scattered. Quinn, you psycho. Try me and find out. As I passed I smirked. Bunch of cowards. They screamed insults over my shoulder. Quinn, come back here. Don't walk away. I flipped a mental middle finger. Only an idiot backtracks. Last I checked, I wasn't one. Inside the classroom I ignored the stares and dropped into my seat for a catnap. Before I could close my eyes, commotion erupted. Chase had escorted Ellis to the doorway, and the two were wrapped in a Hollywood-worthy goodbye hug while half the grade squealed. OMG, our goddess and Chase are straight out of a romance novel. Goals. Someone give me a boyfriend like that. Ellis floated in wearing sugar-sweet smile, spotted me in the corner, and glided over. She set a macaron on my desk. Serena, you barely touched breakfast this morning. Have a macaron or two so you don't run on empty. She's always like this at Riverdale, as if standing next to me is the only way she can shine brighter. I open my eyes slowly, glance at the dainty little box in her hand, and answer flatly, sorry, I don't do sweets. I skipped breakfast because Ella scarfed down both breakfasts. Lewis had packed mine and hers. Color drains from Ellis's face. With those huge, innocent eyes pinned on me she whispers, Serena, you still have to eat, even if the scores were disappointing. You're scaring me. Much obliged, I mutter, tugging one corner of my mouth. Who says I bombed? You dreamed that up? When the Vances took me back, Richard and Eleanor couldn't bear to part with their fake princess, so they told the world we were biological sisters. To spare Ellis's feelings, they wrapped her in a security blanket of lies. Outwardly she's still the untouchable Vance heiress, and I'm the hillbilly who stumbled in from the sticks. They have no idea I wasn't plucked from some random rural high school. The feds found me at a countryside resort where I was vacationing with Margaret and Charles. I returned to the Vance estate only for the sake of blood that's clearly worth nothing now. I'm done playing Ellis's supporting role. Serena, don't be mad, I'm only trying to comfort you, Ellis says, tiny face crumpling, milking every ounce of sympathy within range. A boy points at me. Quinn, watch your tone. Bella's being nice. With your bottom feeder GPA, you actually think you aced it? Snickers ripple through the room. Honestly, same gene pool, zero shared talent. If I were your parents I'd die of shame. Bella's too kind, she lets you walk all over her. The crowd clusters around Ellis, patting her back and trash-talking me. I give a languid smile. Sweet sister, do you think I'm the villain here? She shakes her head on cue, White Lotus mode activated. No, it's my fault. I shouldn't have tried to cheer you up after your rotten scores. Exactly the line I was fishing for. Chin in hand, I set the stage, so if I'm innocent, aren't you going to defend me? They're slandering your little sis right in front of you. How can our loving big sister stay silent? Ellis flushes crimson and stammers toward the chorus behind her, please, stop picking on Serena. Blame me instead. Go ahead, trash me if you want. Fat tears plop down, and the class panics. Same old performance. Bored, I flop down and nap. In that hazy halfway sleep I hear Lewis's voice. When I lift my head he's already at the podium hugging a bouquet. The room hushes instantly. Happy graduation, kids. Happy graduation, Lewis, a guy in the back row hollers, earning a mock glare. You don't even pretend anymore? Lewis will do, thank you. My bad, Lewis. Laughter erupts. Alright, listen up, great news, he says, adjusting his glasses, grin ear to ear. All 40 seniors landed their dream colleges. Huge congrats to Ellis and Zachary, both bound for Harvard. Ellis and the other students stand. Applause detonates. Lewis waves for quiet. And there's more, one of you smashed a 704 top scorer in the entire city. Gasps ricochet around the room. No way. Our class spawned a curve-wrecker legend? Wasn't always a duel between the Prez and Bella? I swivel to the study rep, he waves frantically. Not me, guys. Lewis cuts in, stop guessing, it's someone who usually flies under the radar. Under the radar superstar? Ultimate comeback story. Students crane their necks, running through every name until Lewis finally spills. The student is Quinn. Quinn, congratulations. You brought honor to Riverdale, come up here. He starts clapping, the rest of the room sits frozen, jaws on the floor. Ellis barely keeps her smile from cracking, posture wooden. Lewis, seasoned by years of surprises, merely taps his glasses. When the principal broke the news, he'd gone through the entire roster, never once landing on last place. Quinn as citywide valedictorian. Let's give Quinn a proper round. Scattered claps limp in, faces of my earlier hecklers twist like they're digesting gravel. Lewis hands me the bouquet and pats my shoulder. Serena, head to the office, they need a victory photo. I nod and stride out under the spotlight of stairs. By dismissal, the whole school knows a curve-wrecker legend walks its halls, reporters mass outside the gates. I sling my mini bag over my shoulder and leave alone, only to run straight into Ellis and her entourage with Chase. Watching her complexion curdle makes my day. So what if you aced the city, Quinn? You're still backwater trash. Chase will always pick Bella. I curve my lips. Is that so? Chase avoids my gaze, guilt practically leaking out of him. Look, Quinn, you've proved you're smart, stick with books and quit chasing what's not yours. We can still be buddies, he mutters. I snort in disgust. Friends? Pass. Let's make it a lifelong goodbye. What a jinx. The second I'm out of sight, I upload a surveillance clip to the Academy group chat and thumb the power button. Someone called me. I looked at the screen and answered cautiously. Adrian. His warm, magnetic baritone slid through the speaker. Where are you? Riverdale, I said. Come out. I'm parked at the gate. I sprinted toward the entrance. Look, is that the girl who scored first in the city, Quinn? Junior's gorgeous. I want to be that smart. Wait, isn't she Bella's sister? People were saying she stole Chase. Guys, check the Academy chat, explosive tea just dropped. A surveillance clip appeared in the group thread, dragging every lurker into the light. No way, Chase is literally the one chasing her, not the other way around. So he got rejected and tried to smear her? Trash. I'm sick. He lies, then plays victim? Gross. Outside, a ring of students had already formed. Avery stepped out of the matte black Lamborghini, one shoulder brushing the doorframe, eyes on his watch. He'd dressed down on purpose, but the commotion still rippled. A face like that is its own spotlight. Phones lifted automatically. I threaded through the crowd under everyone's stare. When he spotted me, the cool mask cracked into something softer. He took my backpack without asking, opened the passenger door. Let's go. Whispers chased us down the block. OMG, he's hotter than campus rumors. His with him? They look straight off a book cover. Can we trade our old golden boy for that upgrade? Chase who? From behind an oak at the curb, Ellis watched, face warped by shadow. A total stranger would have read the malice. Asterisk, she's a hillbilly who lucked out, probably clawed her way into his bed. Asterisk, just wait, Quinn. I'll rip the mask off. Asterisk, that night, after dinner with Margaret and Charles, Avery eased the car to the Vance estate curb. He leaned over and unclicked my belt. In the hush, sandalwood and cedar drifted off his collar, the scent I'd curled into every bedtime years ago. Then his startup swallowed him, and whole weeks passed when I only saw him in photos. I missed him so much I jumped on a red-eye, got lost in downtown after midnight, called him crying. He cursed me for being reckless, then hugged me so hard my ribs creaked. He kissed me, not a brother's peck, a lover's kiss, and I melted against his chest. I fled at sunrise, avoided him for months, and then the feds rang to say my real family had been found. We hadn't been alone together until tonight. I thought I'd packed that feeling away, but my pulse still stuttered when he glanced at me. "Major decision?" he asked softly. "Leaving the Vance estate?" I stared at my lap. "There's no seat for me here. Walking away keeps the peace." He studied me, then pulled me into a careful hug. I forced a smile, he was cushioning the blow. "I'm fine," I whispered. "No attachment, no ache." He released me. "Call if you need me." "Promise." I slipped inside the mansion. Halfway up the staircase I noticed my bedroom door ajar, light leaking through. My stomach clenched. I pushed it wide. Ellis knelt beside my dresser, pawing through scarves. A bangle slipped from her fingers and hit the floor, shattering into green glass shards. "My birthday gift from Margaret, now splinters." I snapped. "What the hell are you doing in my room?" She jumped, lip quivering. "I was looking for you." "It's late, where were you?" I almost laughed. "None of your business. That gives you zero right to ransack my things." Color flared in her cheeks. "This whole house is mine. I can look wherever I want." She stepped over the broken bangle. "Besides, what are you hiding, Quinn? Guilty conscience? Reverse the guilt much? Congratulations, your delusion is Olympic level." I pointed at the mess. "Pick that up, then get out of my face now." Footsteps sounded behind me. Ella spun, eyes instantly glassy. "Mom," she whimpered, clutching Eleanor's sleeve. "I saw her climb into some man's Lamborghini today. He showered her with shopping bags." "She's a backwater girl, she can't afford that stuff unless she's throwing herself at him." Eleanor's gaze iced over. "Is this true, Bella?" I opened my mouth, but she sliced the air. "You're 17, sneaking around with older men. Are we starving you? Did we shortchange you? To cheapen yourself like that, disgraceful. You're spitting on the Vance name." A dry laugh slipped out of me before I could stop it. "Like mother, like daughter." Ellis waltzes into my room and rifles through my stuff for no reason, and instead of scolding her you jump on me? My, what a great mom you are." Fear flooded Ellis's innocent face. She shrank behind Eleanor and whispered, I just wanted to ask Serena what was going on. When I saw she wasn't here I figured I'd wait, and then I noticed the things on Bella's desk." Eleanor patted Ellis's hand to tell her not to worry, then turned to me. "Bella didn't do it on purpose. Why be so aggressive?" "Aggressive?" I shot back. "Fine. You've all decided I'm aggressive, so I'll own it. She smashed my bangle, Mom. You're paying for it, right?" I'd cooled off. Explanations were pointless. People who trust you don't need them. People who don't will call you a liar anyway. We'd officially burned bridges today, might as well incinerate them. Eleanor looked at me as if I were something foul. "You just want money, don't you?" She flung a bank card at me. "There's $100,000 on it, happy? Take the extra and cut ties with that man. I'll throw in another 500,000. I stared at her like she was a circus act. "You seriously think this bangle is worth $100,000? Then how much?" I raised 5 fingers. $500,000? Ellis glared. "That piece of junk? You're extorting us." I spoke slowly. "Who said it's worth $500,000? Ellis exhaled. "Exactly. That trinket's worth a couple thousand at most." I curved my lips. "Try 50 million. F 50 million. Eleanor and Ellis gasped in unison. Eleanor barked, "Quinn, don't push it." The Vance estate wronged you, but we're willing to pay 500 grand. Keep this up and you'll get nothing. I gently gathered the shattered bangle and wrapped the pieces in a silk handkerchief. My back to them, I said, keep the 500 grand for your coffin. I'll walk out on my own, no need to throw me out. And every debt you owe me? I'll collect it, ounce by ounce. Eleanor snorted. You'd better deliver, or when this turns ugly don't blame us. Bella, let's go. Next morning I packed, hauled my suitcase downstairs. Eleanor and Ellis were still giggling over breakfast, they shot me dirty looks. I didn't spare them a second glance and left without looking back. Meanwhile, someone dug up the photos classmates had posted on the campus board. Riverdale's group chat exploded. The guy in those pics is actually the Sterling CEO. That's Sterling, the one who owns half the market. OMG, what's his relationship with him? They look super close. Are they dating? Right after that, Netters doxed me. Not dating. Word is she's the former CEO's adopted daughter. And guess what? She owns 30% of Sterling shares, second only to the current CEO. My dad's a top exec there, so trust me. The revelation stunned everyone. Day 2. Eleanor, heading out for cards, was ambushed by reporters. Vance? Spotting the cameras, she smoothed her hair. Yes? We're here to interview Vance. She just scored #1 citywide on the college entrance exam. Is now convenient? Eleanor blinked. Our daughter got first place, really? The reporter double-checked the address, then nodded. Eleanor ditched her card game and phoned Ellis, who'd been out partying. Ellis came home trailing tipsy girlfriends reeking of booze. Eleanor beamed. Silly girl, you become top scorer and say nothing? The press is here. Smile for the camera, mommy's recording. But the reporters on the sofa looked puzzled. The girl in their phones clearly wasn't Ellis. Wrong house. Do you have another daughter? We're looking for this young lady. They showed Eleanor my photo. Eleanor's face turned green. There's a mistake. My daughter got 682. She must be the top scorer. You could interview her anyway. The reporter stood awkwardly. Sorry, if she's not here we'll be going. They scurried out. Eleanor's smile collapsed. She cursed, Ellis tugging her arm. Lousy hacks. Want my daughter? Not a chance. Who do they think they are? She rounded on Ellis. Is it true? He got first place? Ellis nodded, noting the flicker of regret in Eleanor's eyes. She quickly added, Mom, let's bring Serena back. Apologize and she'll forgive us. Eleanor's hesitation flipped to disgust. Why beg her? Once she's out there suffering she'll crawl home. Apologize? Dream on. In a corner no one watched, Ellis smiled, smug. Quinn, #1? Mom still loathes you. Across town I lounged in a beachfront villa, munching kettle chips. Life was sweet. When Margaret came home she hid a little box behind her back. Sweetheart. I dove into her arms and nuzzled. Mom. She stroked my hair, beaming. You've had it rough. Guess what Mommy brought you? She produced the box with a flourish. I opened the box and found an exquisite bangle inside. Margaret, I saw you staring at the shattered one, figured my Serena might like bangles, so I bought my baby a new one. Margaret, it's not the same, but I chose it for ages. Do you like it? I hugged Mom, tears streaming without control, voice choked. I love it, sob. I love you. I love you too, sweetheart. No one knows that when Margaret was pregnant she survived a car wreck. Afterward the doctors said she could never have another child. Later she walked into an orphanage, saw me being bullied by the other kids, and loved me at first sight. She took me home to the Sterling Manor and raised me as her own daughter. I know Mom still carries that regret in her heart, and I'm the one who fills the gap. Sometimes family isn't about blood at all, it's about every ordinary day you spend together. So I love her, whether or not she gave birth to me. 1 week later Adrian told me the Vance estate had gone bankrupt overnight. An insider had drained every dollar, and that insider was Richard's best friend. What the Vances never realized, Ellis's biological father is that very best friend. He'd planned it all from the start. More than a decade ago, Ellis's father green-eyed over Richard's empire switched his own daughter with the Vances' real child. The Vances' daughter that's me was casually thrown away. For whatever reason, the man finally lost patience and vanished with every cent. Ellis disappeared right along with him, leaving Richard and Eleanor to clean up the ruins. When I heard, I literally clapped and cheered. Isn't "you raised a white-eyed wolf" the perfect description of Ellis? I asked, so what's happening to Vance now? Adrian slid me a buffalo wing and said, word is they're under investigation. Under Richard all these years they've pulled plenty of illegal stunts. They won't get away. I blinked at Avery, a hunch blooming in my chest. Bro. Did you have a hand in this? His chopsticks paused, those deep eyes met mine. Would you stop me if I did? My heart skipped at the seriousness on his face. No, I said quietly. I just think they're not worth dirtying your hands. His expression softened, voice gentler. Relax, I only told Ellis's dad what Richard was up to. I never thought he'd empty the vault the next day. I burst out laughing. And while he ran, he still dropped a federal tip on the company. You have to admit, Richard and Eleanor always pick the wrong side, invite the wolf inside, and end up with nothing. A few days later the couple were perp-walked. I went to watch. Rain poured, Adrian shielded me with an umbrella. Across the street we saw Richard and Eleanor let out, faces haggard, suddenly a decade older. The instant they spotted me they lunged as if I were their lifeline. Serena, save us. Your dad and I were wrong, we know that now. You have the power, right? I'm your mother. Eleanor sobbed, mascara streaking her cheeks. Smiling faintly, I said, sorry, I am not here to rescue you. I'm here to see you off. Realizing I wouldn't help, Eleanor's eyes turned venomous. Quinn, you ungrateful little bitch. If I hadn't given birth to you, you'd have nothing to gloat about. I should have strangled you the moment you were born. I curse you to die a horrible death. Adrian covered my ears and led me away. In the car he buckled me in, saying nothing, simply staying by my side. Staring at the face I've known since childhood, I heard myself blurt, bro, in 2 weeks I'll be 18. Avery looked puzzled. I batted my lashes, wrapping my arms around his neck. Those things you said before, do they still count? He raised an eyebrow. Of course. Mischief flashed in my eyes. Before he could react I pecked the corner of his mouth, then jerked back, cheeks burning, and stared out the window. On my birthday I'll give you my answer, so behave and drive. Avery laughed under his breath. Fine, I'm driving. That night I paid the price for teasing him, my swollen lip in the mirror made me glare. Does the guy think he's a Rottweiler? On my birthday I threw a beach party, every friend in our circle showed, and my childhood bestie even flew back from abroad. When she heard about Avery and me her eyes nearly popped. No way Avery actually pulled it off? I always thought you two were freakishly close for siblings, but I let it slide. My precious cabbage got eaten by a pig. Will you still game with me or ditch me for him? I promised, never. He's crazy busy, he can't monopolize my time. Good, good. I outlined my plan, her eyes widened further. Quinn, can't you play hard to get? Girls don't confess first. I pouted. Why not? I like making the first move. Fine, I'll be your love bodyguard just this once. As the party wound down I found Avery in the crowd and, ignoring everyone, pulled him onto the sand. We sprinted, fingers laced, neither letting go. Behind the tide-slick rocks I'd hidden his surprise. Dusk veiled my flaming face as I offered him my heart, cupped in both hands. Then I spoke the words I'd never dared, I'm sober, and I know I truly love you. We kissed in the fading light, fireworks erupted overhead while our friends jumped from hiding, waving party poppers. Make it official. Make it official. Serena, be endgame. Avery threaded his fingers through mine, palm to palm. I looked at him and thought, yes. I'm going to be happy. The end.